You gotta understand this. Your path to get to where you want to go is going to be unique to you and your characteristics, your personality, your spirit. It's just like a fingerprint. Like no two people on the planet. Think about this. Think about the billions of people on the planet. No two people on the planet have the exact same fingerprint. If the good Lord had the the capacity to do that, don't you think he had each person had their own specific way to get to their end goal? The courage to create without permission, which means this. Which means first you gotta at these brothers. Hey, first thing I want to say, man, is I appreciate all the love, man, from y'all brothers and sisters, man, on my last video where I was talking about the rich young ruler, on how we must take leaps in life and all that, right? Pretty much just wrapping up, again, what I was talking about in the last video, pretty much just wrapping up this chapter of my life, man, transitioning to the next chapter, which is moving to Thailand. But before I do that, man, I got to take care of a few things, take care of a few people, mainly my mom. It's my mom's house behind me, which you can't see, which is one of the projects I'm working on. First thing I got to do, man, before I leave, man, is give my mom's house a makeover, right? Let's see if I can turn this camera around, man. Old country road, man. We out here in the middle of East Texas, brother. Some good old country. It's my mom's house. You can't see it. This is one of the problems, man. First, I got to repaint this whole fence, right? But so you can see my mom's house in the background, right? Through the trees. There was once upon a time, man, where this thing, some years ago, before all these trees got big, you could drive by her house and you could see not only the house, but you could see all the way back to the back, man. She has she's on several acres, but about 6 acres deep, there's a pond back there, man. And, once upon a time, man, you could see all the way back there. So one of my projects is to not only restore this fence, but also clear those trees, man, which you can see. So you can see all the way back toward the at least the middle of the property, man. It's crazy, man, because I can remember standing in this exact spot several years ago, early 2000s, man, before my mom even built this house. And I can remember we stopped the car right here on the middle of the road, and you could turn right back here behind me, and you couldn't see no more than 2 or 3 feet deep because the trees were right there. It was thick woods, right? And I can remember she took a blueprint that she made, right? Took a blueprint, man, and laid it out on the hood of a car or a truck, whatever we were riding in. And she was like, this is what's going to be here. I'm going to have the house right here. I'm going to have the pond back here. I'm going to have XYZ. Bro, she had it all laid out in her mind, and she had her vision lined out. And I was like, okay, yeah, I see it. Man, mom got to doing that mental work, and built a beautiful situation out here, man. So yeah, I got a lot of stuff to do out here, man. Cut about, man, I don't know how many trees I gotta cut down so we can see the house and see the rest of the property. Repaint the house, stain the concrete, clean out the garage, all kind of stuff, man. Right? So a lot gonna be going on over the next probably few weeks to get this done. And then I gotta do some work, help my aunt get some things done before I leave, man. Hence why I'm in full caveman status out here in the country. But what I want to talk about today, man, is we have to be men that create without permission. We have to be men, and if we aren't, we have to become men that learn to create without permission. Because when I think about men going their own way, and I don't mean that in the MGTOW sense. I mean that as a man being able to create his own path. That's the trait that every man has that does that. He learns to create without permission. And what I mean by that is exactly what it sounds like. Like You have to understand there are so many avenues, or so many, not avenues, there are so many systems in place, man, that form a box around us that most people aren't even aware of. And I'm talking about even going back to school. You have no idea how the things you learn between kindergarten and fifth grade are shutting you down right now. Are shutting you down right now. Everything from, hey, walk in a straight line. Everything from, hey, you can't move, you can't go to the bathroom, you can't do nothing without permission. You have to understand, it seems like that was just something keeping people keeping some order, and it was. But man, it was also putting a handcuff on your mind. That's why I can remember when my son was like in elementary and no teachers was like, oh yeah, your son won't sit still, he won't do all this stuff. I was like, yeah, I told my son early in the game. I was like, hey man, you have to play the game. You have to play the game without becoming a prisoner. You know what I'm saying? And I can remember when my mom taught me that in my teens. She was like, you have to learn how to conduct yourself in a way to get through the system without becoming a victim to the system. Right? It's my mom's neighbor, man. Her neighbor is probably a football field away. They got a beautiful pond in the background too. It's just good to be out here in the country, man. Wake up in the morning, man, you hear birds and you hear all kind of stuff. You know, in Dallas, I ain't used to hearing. I woke up this morning, man, I was like, what in the hell is all this? Birds chirping, squirrels talking, deer running through the front yard. I'm like, it felt like Wonderland or something, man. But yeah, you have to be a man that creates without permission. You know what I'm saying? Because that right there is what's going to get you on the other side of the matrix wall. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I harp on. I say this quote. I know my brothers at the Power Circle are tired of me saying this quote. But when Charles Hannell was talking about having the courage to dare, I know my brothers are tired of hearing me say that, man. But man, Hannell had it figured out. He said once a man has an understanding of his power, he has to have the courage to dare. Bro, you have no idea how many men don't have the courage to dare. How many men don't have the courage to think outside of the box that they were given by school, church, parents, grandparents, next door neighbors. But you have to understand, we live in a box. And in order to find that level of freedom you want, you got to figure out how to get outside of that box. And the way you get outside of that box is having the courage to dare. Having the courage to create without permission. You know what I'm saying? The courage to create without permission. I love how David Dieter said it in The Way of the Superior Man, right? And before he said that, I had no idea how much impact what he said had. When David Dieter said, live as if your father were dead. Right? And you can apply that to everything. Live as if your mother, your aunt, your pastor, your mentor, your brothers, your sisters, live as if everybody that you know that had some kind of impact on the way you think, live as if they were dead. And when you think about that, man, automatically all the prison cell walls that you've been in, man, you can feel them being lifted. I had no idea, man, how much of an advantage I had over a lot of men simply because my father passed away when I was a young man. And of course, that's a hard thing. And again, if I could go back and change that, but I would change that, every single time. But I do, like who's it, Neville or Napoleon? You can extract something good out of even the worst situation. And I can see the advantage I had as far as being able to create the world I wanted based on my father not being in the picture, man. Right? So once you get of age, once you get in your 20s, once you get, a grown man, a grown woman, have the courage to create without permission. What do you mean, soul? What do you mean create without permission? Meaning like you know what you want, but first off, a lot of people are scared to even speak or think what they want, right? But even when the people have enough courage to say, you know what, I know what I want, have the gonads to say, you know what, Let me get there. Let me get there on my, in my own way. And let me say it like this. I'm saying it kind of wrong. Meaning when you know, if you can even get to the point where you know what it is you want, figure out your own particular way to get there. Figure out, bring your own blueprint to the table. That's why I'm always talking about going in that sacred space. Go in that sacred space and create your, because to be honest, and I don't know, I don't even know if you can really create that thing if by the standards and ways that most people do it. Because what most people do is this. Okay, I want this end result in life. I want this level of financial abundance. I want this type of woman or man in my life. I want this type of freedom. Let me turn around and see how everybody else is doing it. And really what you're doing is when you look around and see how everybody else is doing it, you're really saying, okay, I see how they did it. So I want that what they want. Not really what you want. Now, you know what I'm saying? You don't even have the courage to dare. You don't even have the courage to think for yourself. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand this. Your path to get to where you want to go is going to be unique to you and your characteristics, your personality, your spirit. It's just like a fingerprint. Like no two people on the planet. Think about this. Think about the billions of people on the planet. No two people on the planet have the exact same fingerprint. If the good Lord had the capacity to do that, don't you think he had each person had their own specific way to get to their end goal? The courage to create without permission, which means this. Which means first you got to say, you know what? What is it that I even want? How is it that I even want to live? The last thing you need to do is turn around and look and see what everybody else is doing. Oh, what Joe Blow over there? How they do it? Oh, I want to. What's Sally Mae doing? If she did it this route, well, I want to go that route. Don't even do that. Just sit still and say, you know what? What is it I want my life to look like? Even if I've never even seen it before. Even if I've never seen it, like, you know what? If I could think of any single thing I wanted to do, I want to wake up every single day in the Virgin Islands and send emails to people. I want to wake up in Canada. I want to wake up in Colorado and sing love songs on the radio. Whatever it is you want to do. Huh? I want to wake up in South Carolina and own my own construction business. I want to live in New Jersey and be a content creator. I want to live in Bahamas and paint pictures. I want to live in Puerto Rico and sail boats. The courage to dare, the courage to think, the courage to create without permission. I'm going to tell you, bro, that's the first step. That's the first step, man. I'm going to tell you this. If there's anything, go on, brother. If there's anything I teach my son, I won't say if there's anything, but that's one thing I try to show him, even if it's on a subconscious level. Around 12 years old, 13 years old, I can remember my son, I asked him, I said, hey, what's your game plan? Kind of speaking to where he is right now. Just graduated high school, 12 years old. I said, what's your game plan? What does life look like to you? And he gave me the standard blueprint of the world. I'm going to go to college. You're going to have 2.5, blah, 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 blah. And I said, man, that sounds good. But it sounds scripted. It sounds like what they've embedded in you over the last number of years through middle school, through elementary. Like that sounds like what you're supposed to say, right? Anyway, I let him sleep on it, man. Every once in a while, I just remind him. I say, and this is what I would tell my son. I said, man, remember this. I said, whatever you want to do, don't look at everybody else's blueprint. Don't look at the world's blueprint. Create it yourself. I will remind him of that, man, every single year, man. And here he is graduating now. And of course, I asked him again, I said, hey, what did you want to do? And we're sitting there, we're talking about options, of course, college and everything. Everything's on the table. He needs to do exactly what he wants to do. And I said this. That's what I said to my son. Teaching him how to quantum leap, right? I said, okay, let's do this. I said, let's do this. What's your end goal? Like what do you want life to look like in 5 years, 10? Like describe that to me. Because we can sit here and talk about avenues, We can sit here and talk about degrees. We can sit here and talk about trades. We can talk about all that is on the table. And let's talk about all that. But let's talk about where you want to be in 5 years. What do you want to be doing? What do you want your life to look like? And he described it to me. I said, well, let's work on that. Let's work on your blueprint. You know what I'm saying? And let's go straight there. Because where everybody is trying to go, man, and this what I say. I say where everybody is trying to go, whether it's a level of freedom, whatever it is, everybody takes the same route that we're supposed to take. And most people wake up 5 years, 15 years, 25 years, 35 years, and realize and they say to themselves, you know what, like, this ain't what it was. like I got these degrees, I got da-da-da-da-da, and I'm still living life in a prison. Yeah, the windows in my office might be bigger. Yeah, my car may be shinier. Yeah, you know, life might look a little better, but I'm still not to that place where I wanted to be from day one. So I don't understand why people don't just go there. There's no reason at all that anybody watching this video in their 20s or 30s should have to wait until they're 48 like me to live life how they want to live. If you're listening to this video and you're 25 years old, then don't say, hey, when I turn 50 years old, when I turn 60, my life is going to be like this. You take that life, you extract the information from it, extract the frequency from it, and move in it now. But you have to have the gonads to create without permission. Because what you're going to do is going to look funny to a whole lot of people. It's going to look funny to a whole lot of people. I can remember, and my mom is my biggest fan. Y'all gonna meet Mama Soul. If y'all ain't following Mama Soul on Instagram already, go follow Mama Soul, man. I told her she get some more subs. She needs to start posting some pictures. But y'all will meet Mama Soul soon, right? But I can remember even when I started calling a different play. When I started saying, okay, you know what? I'm in corporate America. Life is good, but this ain't it. Like, I could keep doing this for 100 years and life might get better, but this ain't what it is. You know what I'm saying? And I said, man, I need to compose me a plan that's completely outside the realm of anything I've ever done or anything outside of anything anybody else has done. And I created that plan, and I didn't even tell the people that were closest to me. I didn't tell the people that were closest to me. Because I said, man, I don't need any ounce of doubt. I don't need any ounce of confusion. I don't need any ounce of anything other than this purpose and this plan while I'm on this mission. And it looked fun. It looked funny. It looked real funny what I was doing. It looked real funny me trying to work all these days and all these long days at work. And when I got out, I had to create another world without the permission of anybody else. So you got to create a world. You got to create a world without the permission of anybody else. You got to say to yourself, man, I know this going to look funny. I know it's going to sound funny, but let me just keep this in my bag until it's done. Let me keep this in my bag until it's done, man, and then let the world see when it's done. And I can remember, man, I was a year out of my job. I've been out of my job for over a year, man. And my mom's called me and she's like, hey, how's work going? Like she always would. Normally I just say, yeah, hey, everything's good. And I said one day, she said, how's work going? I said, yeah, you know I don't work there no more, right? I said, I quit like a year ago. What? My mom said, what? Oh, what about 401k? What about medical? The things that a caring mom would say, right? And instantly I said, boom, that right there. I know my mom is saying all this stuff out of the deepest of love, the deepest of care. I said, but when I was on that journey, when I was creating this world that I'd never seen before, the last thing I needed was one seed of, well, hell, what about 401k? What about medical insurance? I just didn't need that, man. And I'm going to tell you this. A lot of people are scared to create that world strictly because of that. Strictly because they know as soon as they take that step toward that new world, they know that feedback is coming. And they know they won't be able to shut it down, man. So learn to create without permission. if we talking about one hack, bro, that is the hack of all hacks. Live as if your father were dead. Live as if everybody that has an impact on your thinking were no longer alive, man. Y'all want to know what that other thing is? The other thing that's keeping people from creating without permission? It's that fear of loss. It's that fear of loss because, okay, it's hard enough to take an L. You can start a new business, you can do you can do all these things and take an L. But when you take an L, when you've done something that's unorthodox, oh, it hit a little different, man. It hit slightly different. I started y'all have heard me talk about this, and I might show you. I started a gym in Longview, Texas, man, which is pretty much right down the road. And I might show y'all what I started at gym. I'm sure that building is still there. And I started a gym, or I started a training center, whatever you want to call it. It was called Infantry Fitness. And a lot of people in town were starting gyms and all kind of stuff, man. They were starting boot camps and all this stuff, man. They had all kind of equipment and all kind of fancy stuff, man. And I started a gym, went and got my certification, personal trainer. This is 2013, 14, somewhere in there, right? And got me a building, put a lot of money into this building, new lights, new paint, all kind of equipment. And it was a different vibe, man. I didn't have any regular standard equipment. It was like military style, Navy SEAL style workouts, man. And everybody, all the guys with the gyms in the city was saying, oh, this dude is crazy. Like, why is he doing something so unorthodox? Long story short, that went downhill pretty quick. And the first thing you think about is like, dang, man, like, I knew this was an unorthodox plan. It just hit different when you lose and you were doing something different. But all I'm saying is you got to get to the state of mind where you don't, bro, you can't care. You can't care about what people think. And when I'm talking about creating without permission, I should have talked about that first. Oh, you can't give a dang about what people say, man. Because again, the way you do things is gonna be so far different than the way most people did it. You already gonna start off looking crazy. You can't be one of those people. You can't be one of those people, man, that are letting the world judge you by how you do things and everything. What you have, what you wear, how you drive, all that stuff, man. You can't be that person. You can't be that person and plan on winning at what I'm telling you. Creating without permission? Oh, you can't be that person. Needing to be accepted. Needing to get a certain type win or loss. Needing it to look a certain way. Nah. You done already took an L, bro. You done already took an L. So I gotta get these trees high enough where from the road you can see clean to the back. I want people to be able to drink or drive by and see clean through, at least halfway through the property. But yeah. So I guess all I'm saying is really what I've been saying, to even get to the point what I'm talking about, to even get to the point where I'm saying be able to create without permission. The first thing you gotta do as a man, the first thing you gotta do as a person is become free first. You gotta become free first, I guess. Because when I look at the people with the know-how, when I look at the people that should be living life on their own terms, and I just sit there and say to myself, what is it that's keeping him or her from doing it? It's that. It's like they're not even free yet. And when I say free, they haven't even established their own truth yet. Read Singular Truth. I done put the whole thing in a book. Once you determine what your truth is, oh, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. And I know I said that a million times. But once a person Once a person establishes their truth and stand on it, bro, you have no idea. And I know a lot of y'all have read the book. And I know, and go look at the reviews on asingulartruth.com. Go look at what people are saying. Hey, I read this book, man, it changed my life. It changed everything. Once you form your own truth and stand on it, it being a rap ain't even the word. It's beyond the rap. You're in God mode. Y'all saw the video I said the other day. Don't be, I don't know what I said. Don't be scared to live life as God. And I meant that. Don't be scared to walk in your own truth. Don't be scared to unite the Trinity. We talk about the Trinity all the time, our whole lives. People talk about it, but they still don't know what it is. They talk about it, but they teach you to run away from it. It's the craziest thing. Is it this one? They teach you the Trinity. No, they tell you about the Trinity, but they don't tell you how to connect the dots. Huh? The Trinity is you walking one with God, man. And I know I'm getting off. I'm just talking now. But all I'm saying is this. Be a man that can create his own world. Be a man that can look at the world, look at the way everybody else did and say, hey, you know what? I can applaud everybody, but I'm going a different way. When I get to my end result, yeah, it may look a little bit like yours, but it's going to be my own fingerprint on it. When you get like that, brother, you better write your own check. And when I say your own check, meaning you be able to create your own life. You know what I'm saying? You will be him in your own world. And to be honest, that's all that matters, man. To be honest, it don't matter what nobody else is doing. It don't matter how they're doing it. It's about you and your world, man. It's about you and your happiness. It's about creating without permission.